A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, I would be talking about the Divine Masculine, how the Divine Masculine shoos away a characterless woman who approaches him, tries to seduce him, tries to tell him that you should be mine, but he tells her to go away. Off you go, because I love my divine feminine and she is the only one I want forever and ever. So, let's get started. For personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first. And I say this in every session, but still I get so many people sending me emails asking me about the same question. So people, all this information is mentioned in the description box. Please write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything from you about your twin flame journey before the reading, so that we can get the best and most accurate answers during the reading. But in case of therapies, you have to share with me different facets of your life so that we can heal the wounded inner child, which will then lead to a 5D union. Without a 5D union, 3D union is impossible. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. Connect with me on Instagram at the Sunamoon Goddess, and you can also subscribe to the Sunamoon vlogs and get interesting content that supports ascension lifestyle. Yes, ascension is a lifestyle. So now, in this channeling session, I'm also going to refer to a previous channeling session where I was shown a divine masculine who was roaming around in some dimension of hell, and he was in a club as in a discotheque, a very lavish, very fancy discotheque which requires people to have some kind of membership, and if you have that place's membership, you are like the elite or something. So he was in that discotheque, and how a girl had approached him and how he had told the girl, you know, I am not interested in you, but I'm going to tell you something about unconditional love. He was almost going to get trapped into a situation where people were having an orgy, but again he walked out from there telling other people what you're doing is absolutely wrong and in no way this is fun. And he tells the lady, the girl who was sort of asking him out for a hookup or a fun time, he tells her that you're like my sister, you know, you're like my younger sister. I would rather drop you safely at your place, and you should also not be hovering around in such places because these are all dark energies wanting to get the better of you. When the girl asks him, she's really surprised by his conviction. She asked him, what makes you say all these things? And he says that I'm in love with one person. She is my divine feminine. She is the woman of my heart. And she's the only one I think about. She's the only one I want. Whether I'm in hell or whether I'm in heaven, it doesn't matter. So this channeling was shared some time back. I think you can check it out because it was under Dream Space Channelings. Now today I'm going to talk about twin flame guru Ram and Sita once again, and how they had experienced a situation like this, but obviously of a higher proportion, because that led to, Ravan abducting Sita. Now Ram was a man who was fully committed to his wife, fully committed. He was born in Treta, and at that point in time, the kings were allowed. There's a squirrel here who is chirping. You hear that? That's a squirrel. So we have all these beautiful animal kingdom beings. Sometimes we have the cuckoo, then we have the squirrel, we have all these beautiful beings. When I don't know how come they are just present during the channelings. It's beautiful. So it's very important for us to know about monogamy, because a lot of people in the twin flame journey are not aware about such things. And divine feminine specifically, she needs to be aware about it. Although it is said that once a woman marries a man, her husband, she should be committed to him no matter what. But why I say Sita and Ram are the twin flame gurus, why I say that they are the only ones who can take you to your union, fastest way to union is devotion and surrender to Ram and Sita. And without 5D union, 3D union is not possible. Once you experience 5D union, then you really don't care what's happening in the 3D reality, because you're experiencing so much of unconditional love, and there is no measurement of that unconditional love with anything that you see in the materialistic world. And when Ram and Sita both, they start living in your heart together, it means you are experiencing unconditional true love. With Ram and Sita also, it had happened once that they were in the forest, and that time they were exiled by the stepmother Kaikeyi for 14 years. And they were exiled, and obviously, in the woods, you are living alone and there is no other humans. Or even if they used to meet, in between they used to meet yogis and they used to meet rishis, gurus, they used to meet them on and off, but most of the times they were alone. Lakshman, who was Ram's younger brother, was always acting as a guard, and he was such a devoted brother that he didn't sleep for 14 years. That is the level of inner work that Lakshman had done, that he didn't even sleep for 14 years. Imagine. And if we are asked or we are told to wake up in the morning, early in the morning, and do meditation or, chant, or just be present, or just go out for a walk, be in the nature, we find it so difficult, right? So, anyway, Ram was in the woods with Sita and Lakshman. They were all hanging out. And suddenly this woman, this very beautiful woman, very attractive woman, lands up over there. Her name is Shurpanakha. She is the sister of Ravan. Now this lady, Shurpanakha, and although she is a demon, she's a demoness, but she had the gift, or she had some power with which she could change forms, or she could turn herself into a very beautiful woman. So nevertheless, she approaches Ram, and in her full seductive mood or mode, she tells him that, I am such a beautiful woman, and I was just, roaming around in the woods. I was just wandering here and there, and I happened to see you. So I, from some hidden corners, I kept looking at you from this corner, that corner, because I found you so attractive. You're so handsome. You're so good looking. She tells Ram that I've been sneakingly looking at you since all these days. And I must say that I cannot take my eyes off you. So, these are the type of things that most of the karmics and most of the, false twins, and most of such women and men also, they say to the twin flamers. The twin flamers have to be very careful about these things. And the reason I'm doing this channeling is because this message is very important to be relayed, especially now. Because as we know that on planet Earth, there is this hookup culture that is going on. It's very common. And people don't realize it. In the name of feminism, or in the name of, uplifting people's lifestyles or something, they say that it's all right to do this. And so many TV shows, I remember watching this show, 2.5 Men, and there was this character called Charlie, and Charlie Sheen was playing that character. And every day he was coming in with new women, every day. And all the women in fact, they were always so excited to sleep with him, as if, what is he really offering to them? And women were shown to be such characters, most women, even the old lady who used to work with them as a housekeeper, she was drooling on the new guy. The new guy, which was played by Ashton Kutcher. I think his name was also Charlie. I don't remember the character's name, but whatever. So it's kind of strange actually. And it's not a cultural thing. It's not like in India we don't know, we don't have one night stand culture, or we don't have hookup culture, or we don't have this type of thing going on. But I'm not here to, even give any moral speech to people or any ethical speech to people. I just feel like saying this one thing because all of us have been raised in this culture. We've all gone through places like where, it's very normal to ask someone out for a one night stand and the woman can politely say no, or the man can politely say no, or it's very normal if two people decide to do something like this. But the whole idea is that why do people do this? Do they feel they are not worthy enough to spend time with someone, to get to know someone, to be taken out like a proper date, or to be treated like, the body is not that important? Because in one night stand culture or the hookup culture, the prime importance or maximum importance is given to the body, looks. And why the same person who's so attractive under the influence of alcohol? So obviously people are drinking, there's loud music, all the people who go to these clubs or these places, they're all looking very nice, they're all decked up, they've all done all those quick fixes on themselves, be it makeup, be it hairstyling, be it clothes, all your problems, all your mental disorders or all your diseases, all your, stinking mouths or whatever, if someone has bad breath issue also. And I'm speaking about reality. Because I know some of my friends who would probably were never getting someone to date in real life, but when they used to go to a nightclub, using their fancy cars or using their smooth talks, they would manage to get a one night stand. And all the people who are so-called Casanovas or playboys, they're actually really horrible when it comes to get into a relationship. Why? Because it's very easy to sleep with someone. It's very easy to take someone to bed, but it's very difficult to be in a relationship with someone. For them, for such people, to handle a person's good moods and bad moods and good days and bad days. Most people in today's generation, because this is the most narcissistic generation also, we all want perfect things. We all want perfect looks. We want perfect bodies. A little bit of bulging tummy is considered wrong. A little bit of, little bit of wrinkles or fine lines. People are programming and marketing for anti-aging creams, even for those who are just 25 years old. Or the sale of fairness creams. Or the promotion of certain body parts or certain body types. These are all the things that people with positive energy don't need to do, right? So in the woods, when Shurpanakha also, comes in front of Ram, she is dressed very beautifully. She's like looking really nice. The depiction of her is like, that she's a very attractive woman. And when she tells Ram that I've been looking at you, I've been staring at you from this corner, that corner, Ram simply asks her this question, that since you have been looking at me, sneakingly looking at me, I am sure you must have seen my wife also with me. Didn't you see Sita? She's always there with me. So Ram is clearly telling her, even though he understands what this woman means. And again, I'm sure she must have approached him thinking that, polygamy is acceptable or polygamy is okay. So Ram is going to accept it too. If I am so attractive, he might just keep me as his wife or he might just keep me as his girlfriend. But Ram was absolutely against polygamy, even though his own father was married thrice. And he never said anything against anyone. He treated all his mothers equally. He loved all of them equally, respected all of them equally, but he was never in favor of polygamy. In fact, he was also in favor of equality between men and women. And for that, you don't have to be a feminist, right? You can see a man as an equal or a man can see you as an equal. So, when he says that I am only and only in love with my wife, and I'm sure you have seen her, and she says, no, I didn't notice anyone but you. My eyes did not care about anybody, no Sita, no other woman, just you. And now you and me are in my imagination. So these are the words, these are the traps set out by people. If someone tells you, I'm in love with you ever since I saw you, ever since I looked at you, never believe those people, because they are trying to tell you or themselves or whatever that they love you because of the way you look. Tell them, why don't you spend some time with me? Why don't you spend 6 months with me? At least 6 months with me, and then we will see if you really love me or not. Because all those people who claim to love you, they cannot really be with you if they have to make much efforts, if they claim to love you just by looking at you. This channeling is also very important, not only from the perspective of monogamy and being loyal to the person you love, but also because even divine feminines, because I've been saying this, and I said this in the previous channeling that we did for Ram and Sita. In that also I had mentioned the same thing, that most people think that it's all right to have many partners in today's world, but it's not. Actually, it's not. I don't know about other people. I am not talking about people who are in karmic templates, because there are some people who are not here for ascension work. They are only here because they have karmic baggage from the past lives. So they are born just to release that karmic baggage, and that's why they have karmic marriages, they have karmic children, and that's how the lifestyle is going to be. But for ascensioners, this is one thing that you need to keep in mind, that you must be committed to one person only. If you feel that person is, if you are confused about that person especially, so on one day you think that this is your divine masculine or feminine, then another day you think it is not your divine masculine and feminine. You pray to God that, okay, can you please send me a replacement because this one is not so nice anymore. And then third day again you're like, no, it's fine, I love him or love her. And then fourth day again you're like, I wish I could get another person. That is not, you're not in love at that point in time. You have not experienced unconditional love. Because when you experience unconditional love, you're very clear about these things. It's not a confused concept for you. And most important thing is, then this means that you really need to do a lot of inner work. A lot of inner work is required so that you come in those energies where you understand that love is not about looks. Love is not about certain ideas. Love is about commitment, and love is about understanding one another. And most importantly, love is about wishing the best for the person you love. Even if they might not have done good to you, but you know that if they had not done this to me, even the people who do the worst things to us, they actually take us closer to God. They take us closer to our purpose and mission. So that from that perspective, even if you don't talk to them, you don't have to talk to everyone, right? But you must feel gratitude for them. And when this gratitude flows naturally to you, like for real you feel the gratitude, for real you have forgiven them, then there is a completely different energy flow. All right? So when this woman says that, all of these things to him, Ram simply asks her that why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? I told you I have a wife, and I told you that I love her. So she says, even I have fallen in love with you. Very easily she says is that I have fallen in love with you. So Ram tells her that, what do you mean by love? What is love for you? And when he's doing this conversation, Sita is present with him. She is there with him. Sita is there with him. Lakshman is there with him, but none of them interfere. And Sita, for not even 1 second, she is insecure. In today's world, what happens is when you are with your man or your woman, and another man or another woman, in both cases, comes and start talking to them for whatever XYZ reason, whatever situation it is, suddenly people you become insecure. So let's imagine in a scenario, you are the divine feminine and your divine masculine is with you at some party or some function, or you're out somewhere. Maybe it's a corporate event, maybe you're at a temple, maybe you're at a beach, or whatever it is. And some random person or maybe a known person comes and starts talking to him about something. Now the divine feminine is immediately insecure. She has no trust on her love. There is something called, okay, you don't want to trust another person, but you should at least have trust in your own love for the person. If you love somebody, even if they talk to someone, even if they're smiling at someone, even if they're shaking hands with someone or giving a hug to someone, you should have enough confidence that my person is going to stay with me. My person is not going to go away anywhere. But if they are going away anywhere, or if you think about it so many times, it means that you are suffering from karmic issues. You need to release the karmic problems in your life. The karmic partner that has been created by you. A lot of people think that it's not possible. Why would I create it? And today morning only I had shared a channeling on the other channel, Twinflame Universe, which speaks about why affirmations and manifestations don't work for a lot of people. They don't work. People are doing 1,000 affirmations in a day, 5,000 affirmations in a day. They're writing it down. They're taking that person's name again and again. But it doesn't work. Why? Because, for a simple reason, because the wound is inside you. The affirmations or these law of attraction practices that people give online, maintaining some manifestation diary or something like that, where you write down your manifestations, wake up in the morning and write down, even though you don't have those things, but write it down as though you have those things, like etc., etc. You know these things, right? If you are in the twin flame journey, I'm 100% sure most of you have searched or researched all these things. But those things cannot reach to your unconscious or subconscious mind. They are just working on the surface level, and which is why people get impatient. Even law of attraction techniques, manifestation techniques, they take time. They take a long time. Ask those manifestation coaches and law of attraction coaches, for how many years have you struggled? For how many years? How many years did it take you to be here, to be where you are? No, great. They are doing great work. They're spreading these information to people, on how to get what you want, on self-love. But I think everything is getting mixed up. Everything is getting jumbled up, too jumbled up. If you're constantly trying to manifest, and think about it logically, okay? If you're constantly trying to manifest things, are you really living in the present moment? If you're constantly daydreaming about future, in the future this will happen, in the future that will happen, in the future we will do this, in the future we will do that, are you really living in the here and now? Because law of attraction also works when you start living in the here and now. And I've already told you guys that there are not just one universal law called law of attraction. There are 12 universal laws in total. And you need to know all 12 of them if you are in the ascension journey. All 12 of them. They all work together in tandem. Okay? So this demoness, Shurpanakha, her name is Shurpanakha. She says, I love you. And he says that, thank you for loving me. Great, you love me, So this is the type of confidence one needs to have in their relationship, in their partner. Even when I'm standing in front of my partner and there is a beautiful woman, a very attractive woman, telling my man that I love you, or she also has this confidence. Imagine Shurpanakha, the demoness, she also had some kind of confidence. Of course, she must have seduced a lot of men before Ram. Before meeting Ram, she must have thought that all men bow down to her charms. She must have thought that until she met Ram. That was the last time. So Ram says that I am thankful to you if you love me. It's very nice. It's good that you love me. But I am committed to my wife, and I cannot stop another person from loving me. If someone XYZ person loves me, what can I do about it? But in my heart, in my mind, in my imagination, I cannot love you the way you are thinking about me right now. It's impossible. And then she says, why are you so serious about it? You should just have some fun with me. We should have some good time with each other. Like, why are you being so boring, I'm just speaking it in the lingo that we use nowadays. Otherwise, all of this conversation is in a completely different language. So he says to her that love is not just for fun. Love is not just for enjoyment. Love is a duty. Love is a responsibility. When you when you tell a person that you love me or I love you, then you are being responsible for them in many ways. And Shurpanakha says that I don't care about all this responsibility and blah, blah, blah. I just want to be with you. To which Ram tells her that, you are crossing your limits. You are crossing your boundaries because this is not what I appreciate. And this is not something that I can even offer to you or I can even give to you. And obviously, I am not going to waste my time on trying to change you or trying to tell you that, oh, you should stop loving me, you should not like me, or you should not have a crush on me or whatever it is. All right? So please go your own way, and because you have used such a heavy duty word called love. Also, you must have noticed, in the dark energies, when people are fascinated by dark energy, they use the word love very easily. Love is like a snack for them, Telling someone, I love you, is I love you forever, I love you here and beyond, I will keep loving you. False twins, if you ever, some of you must have been in false twin relationships. How, these people use these words so easily. But when it comes to take responsibility, they don't want to take responsibility. Even the divine masculine, this is one area that the feminines need to heal within them. All you feminines on planet Earth right now, you are healing the divine masculine template. So you need to heal the divine masculine template within you by knowing and by understanding what does it mean to be a divine masculine. Your understanding of divine masculine. And until and unless you don't feel that the other person is worthy of you, the other person is really a responsible man, a provider in the true sense, a person who understands the profound emotion of love. It's not just for fun, enjoyment, sexual entertainment. That anyone can do. You can go to a club, you can pick a man. You can go on a dating app or all these applications, you can easily pick a man. What's the dearth of men and women in a world like today? There is no dearth. But you look for a man or a woman who says that I don't want this. I want you to love me for real. I don't want you to just like my skin, my body, my hairstyle, my clothing style. But I want you to like me as a person with all my good and bad, with all my imperfections and perfections. There are days when a woman is PMSing. She's in period pain. She's lying on the bed. She cannot get up. And this man comes and he says, you and your PMS, every month this drama happens. Is that a sensitive man? Is that a responsible man? No. What if you are busy doing your inner work or you are in a mission? You have a purpose to help other people, to uplift other people, to do something for other people, maybe for voiceless beings. And he comes onto you and he says, what is this that you do all the time, all this stupidity? Who cares about all these things? It's better you do something else. What about this new car that I've bought? Check it out. What a fancy car I have, what expensive car I have. That man is not a good man. He's not a worthy man yet. Because he doesn't care about a selfless act that you're doing. Or maybe you want to be a spiritual woman. You tell him that I want to be a godly woman. I want to be devoted to God. And I want to practice spirituality every single day, every day. And he goes on saying, come on, what is this? I don't like all this spiritual gibberish nonsense that you talk about. What's this yoga? What's this meditation? What is this? Let's go to a party. Let's play some cards. Maybe he drinks a lot of alcohol. You tell him that you should not drink alcohol, or he's taking some drugs, like chemical drugs, powdered drugs or whatever. And you tell him that it's not good for you. And he constantly fights with you. Not only that, he wants you to do it too. That come on, we should learn how to fit in with society. We should fit in with all my friends. What will all my friends think about you and me if we don't do all these things? They'll think we are fools. We are outcasts. They will ignore us. We will be all alone. And you tell him that it's okay. I love to be alone. I want to be alone in my own world. It's all right. And he says, what is this? I don't understand these things. So if you're going through all these kind of pressures of fitting in, or maybe you are dating someone and he says that my mother doesn't like you, my sister doesn't like you, my aunt doesn't like you, or some other person doesn't like you because of the way you talk, because of the way you dress up, because of this, because of that. Now this does not mean that you are allowed to be a horrible person who's throwing her tantrums all the time on men and women around and all the people around, and you just, you understand what I mean by all this. I mean, obviously, you are also a responsible woman. If you want a husband like Ram, if you want a life partner like Ram, then you have to be like Sita too. You can't get Ram unless you are like Sita, or Sita, to be Sita, you have to be, so amazing. Sita was so confident in her own skin. She was so devoted. She was such a understanding, patient woman. When her husband was sent on exile, she walked with him on foot. She accompanied him every single day in bad weather. Nowadays, what do women do? My husband does not buy me this, he cannot buy me that, he cannot give me this much money, that much money, I need to do this, I need to get these clothes, all these brands, they are so expensive, but he doesn't earn enough. Ascensioners cannot talk like that, I'm sorry to say. Until and unless you need your husband to do some kind of good work, then you cannot be so, finicky, or you can't have all those tantrums. Sita did not have a single tantrum. She was happy in whatever way he kept her. And he was also a good man, obviously. So anyway, coming back to Shurpanakha and the conversation, all her seduction technique that she was applying. So she's now getting confused. Like, why is he not getting seduced by me? What's wrong with me? I look so beautiful. I look so divine. I'm such an, enchanting person. So she tells him that, tell me one thing. So many years you are married to this woman, this woman who's, look at her, she's dressed up so simply, she's wearing this simple sari, or, they were basically dressed in the clothes of tapasvi or yogini's dress, very simple clothes. So she says that, look at this woman, you've been with her for so many years and she's dressed up so simply, she's not attractive. What do you like in her? I am much more beautiful than her. I am so attractive. I am so powerful. I have all the money. I have all the things. Whatever you want, I can give to you. And now she is trying to tell him bodily, like sexually, I can do so much for you. I can kiss you this way. I can hug you this way. My body is so fragrant, and look at my clothes. Every day I'm going to seduce you in different styles. So why don't you just give it one try, just one chance, and you will live in heaven. I will show you heaven, So this is when Ram says this beautiful thing to Shurpanakha. He says that you might meet many people who have many qualities, many beautiful, wonderful qualities that may be very attractive. And it is also true, like, we all cannot possess all the qualities, right? That's why I say we are all imperfect. We are all imperfect, and still we should love each other despite our imperfections. Like, you can't have the same woman having all the 50 things you want in her, or the same man to have all the 50 qualities you want to have in them. Certain places you will have to compromise. Certain places it may not be the way you had thought or you had imagined it to be, right? So he says that, it is not necessary, whatever you are offering to me, all the things that you are saying, like about yourself, about the experience that you can give to me. But I don't need any of that, because even if my wife does not possess certain qualities, which according to other people, or which according to you, like you are saying, it may not be enough, or you might be having those qualities in you, I still love her the most. Just because I'm looking for so many qualities, I should be marrying 4 different women, 5 different women, 3 different women, 2 different women, just because that one person does not have certain qualities and the other one might have. those qualities. Like one person cannot cook potatoes properly, but another one can. So just based on that, I should marry another person. He says, no, that's not how it works for me. Because human beings are like that. Human beings want, so many things. We have a list of so many things. All men and women are like that. They all have a list. A few years back, a concept of love list was very popular. Even I saw it on internet somewhere. There were women who said that I made a list, some pointers, some 50, 20, 30, whatever pointers written on a list, that this is the kind of dream man I want. And today I found that dream man. I saw some interviews. So how is that possible? Like, honestly, you have a list of 50 things and you're looking for a man or a woman to have all those 50 qualities. But if you love a person, whether or not they have those qualities, they will still be very beautiful or attractive to you. That is true love. So Ram was obviously against this concept of polygamy or having more than one partner. So he told her the same thing, that I'm not looking for 3 different partners. I just have one woman and I'm content with her. She is perfect woman for me. And I am completely devoted to Sita. Ram is completely devoted to Sita, and he has got nothing to do with anyone else. Now there is another incident which I must share over here while I'm talking about Shurpanakha, that when Mandodari, who is Ravan's wife, after Ravan's death, Mandodari had also come to meet Ram. She just wanted to meet Ram. She just wanted to see who is this person, because she had heard so much about him. And obviously she had met Sita. She had seen Sita in person. And she was also, she respected Sita and Ram a lot. And she was the one who used to tell Ravan constantly that, please don't do this, please don't do this, please leave Sita, please let her go. But obviously Ravan did not listen and he died because of that. So when she was approaching Ram was sitting on a stone. And while she was approaching him, her shadow almost touched his body. And he just moved away. And he could see that it's a woman's shadow. He moved away. And he stepped a little further away just to have a good look at, who was coming. And she saw that. She saw that he moved away just when my shadow touched his body or fell on his body. And he moved sideways. And Mandodari said this, that, obviously you are the person who could have killed an egotistical man, a super egotistical man, Ravan, demon with 10 heads. Only you could have killed him, because he was the type of man who used to look at every other woman. Even though I was married to him, I am his wife, he had so many wives. He had raped so many women. And that's why he was cursed. He was cursed that if he would even try to approach a woman with this type of intention, he would perish into flames. So a lot of people who are Ravan followers, they actually say that Ravan did not do anything to Sita even though he had abducted her. That's because he could not. He knew that he would burn into flames, he would die. And any which way he knew that even Sita was an ascended goddess. She was a goddess. She was not even biologically born. She appeared from the soil. So he knew that if he would do anything without Sita's permission, if Sita's without her consent, he would just perish. But he wanted Sita very badly. He still wanted her. Imagine. He thought that, by hook or by crook, I will get her. That was his ego. That made Mandodari feel like only this man could have killed my husband. And she had no anger, nothing, no resentment, only respect for Ram. So here also to Shurpanakha also, he says that I am completely devoted to my wife and I have got nothing to give to you. I am so sorry, please leave. And then she says, you won't get bored with me, I will, because all these demons, as I said, they have all these powers that with the help of illusions, with the help of those magical powers they have, they can do many things. They can come into many forms and these are the things they use obviously to allure men. But actually they are very ugly looking, they are very scary looking. I don't want to say it to anyone, but this is how a woman looks like when she is only about sex. She is only about body, she is not beautiful. Inside, she is not beautiful. Inside, she is crooked and ugly, right? So she makes this offer again to Ram. She doesn't give up that easily, by the way. So she says, I can love you in various forms and various this and that. So Ram says to her that, first of all, your explanation of love is very opposite. It is totally wrong, because love has got nothing to do with body. Love has got nothing to do with body whatsoever. Love is all about soul, and if you love someone, you don't need to come in all these various forms. Only one form is enough. Only your original form is more than enough. As the way you are, the way nature has created you, you will be more than enough for that person. That person will love you just the way you are. Some of the people, I don't know why they get triggered by this, that how can someone love me just the way I am? Like, what is wrong in that? In fact, you should be happy if someone loves you just the way you are. You don't want to change a person. You don't want to correct a person. You don't want to rectify a person. You're not even going to give them sugar-coated compliments, fake compliments, like, oh, you are so this, you're Adonis, you're blah, 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 you're Greek god. I looked at you and I was like melting, like ice cream melts in the sun. So Ram clearly tells Shurpanakha that, dear lady, my wife, the way she is, she's perfect for me. She's absolutely fine for me. Even though as per you or as per her also or as per anyone else, you might say that she doesn't possess this, she doesn't possess that. But I am very happy with her. So please leave us alone and please get lost from here. Try your luck with someone else. And he even offers him to speak with Lakshman. And then imagine Shurpanakha's love is so fickle that when she looks at Lakshman, she is ready to go to Lakshman also now. So Lakshman tells her that, look, I am also married and my wife is, in Ayodhya, and I am just a servant. I am just a servant, a humble slave, you can say, whatever you want to say, slave, servant. I am just here to serve my brother and my sister-in-law. So as a servant is not allowed to have any fun or any good times whatsoever. And as it is, I am also married. So you please go and talk to you please convince my brother only. So Ram is like, sorry lady, I already told you, I don't care. I have my wife. Then she again goes to Lakshman. Lakshman says, I already told you, please go away. So she gets irritated and she says, you know what, I'm going to kill Sita. And before saying this, she also tries one more tactic. She tells Ram that, my brother, I am Ravan's sister. You know who Ravan is? Ravan is the demon king, Ravan, the great Ravan, the most powerful man. I can do anything. I am so powerful. And you know what? I am Shurpanakha. Do you know who I am? You don't even know. You don't even know my, my caliber, my worth. So Ram says that, look, till now we have treated you with respect. Till now we have spoken to you with dignity. I even told you that you're crossing your, limits, while you're coming close and trying to talk to me. But just because you're a woman, we have been just being a little bit nice to you. So please take my advice, final advice. This is my final warning. Just go. And then she says, my brothers, she had more brothers, not just Ravan. So she takes their names and she says they will come and destroy you. Later on, Ram and Lakshman even killed those two brothers, Khar and Dushan. So Ramayana is a very interesting story, and I would be sharing this story, as I said, in a non-linear fashion, wherever we need help in the twin flame journey, because this is what I'm guided to do right now, to share all these anecdotes for the people who are in twin flame ascension journey, especially the divine feminines. It is especially for divine feminines, because until and unless you don't heal the divine masculine template within you, the masculine template will not get healed. But you can't heal them directly. You can't do that directly. You have to do it within you while doing inner work. And few days back, we were guided to heal the relationship we have with our fathers. No matter what happened between you and your father, whether he left you alone, whether he ill-treated your mother, whether he was abusive, whether he was alcoholic, or whether he was irresponsible man, or whether he was extremely loving but there were misunderstandings, or you guys really had a very beautiful bond, but your parents were not in good terms with each other, they got divorced, so you were separated with your father, and you have that pain in your heart that my father and I loved each other, but because of my family circumstances, or because of my mother, or because of all the misunderstandings, I got separated from him. I could never do all the things that a father and daughter relationship has. So whatever you have, resentments or angers or regrets, or if you were even abused by a father figure or the father itself, these are the things that you need to heal, because these are the things that create the present divine masculine energy within you. So you need to let go of so many things that you have been holding on within you. Okay, so here also finally Shurpanakha goes like, nobody can disobey me, nobody can say no to me, you can't say no to me, so she's basically threatening them. And Ram tells her that why do you have to threaten me? If you were a beautiful person inside out, you would not need to threaten anybody, so please leave. Now on this, she gets extremely irritated, she feels very disrespected. She feels like, maybe these two brothers are not interested in me because one has Sita and the other is serving, the brother and his wife. So I might just kill Sita. So with that intention, she goes to kill Sita. But Lakshman comes in between and he cuts her nose, Shurpanakha's nose, and she runs away from there. And this is where the great war, the seed is sown, or you can say the sapling is already out there, because Shurpanakha will then go to Ravan and she will tell Ravan that, this man, Ram and Lakshman, they are in the forest with a beautiful woman, and I thought that, this beautiful woman must be your wife. So with that intention, I went to talk to them that you must surrender this wife to my brother Ravan, who deserves her much more than you, to Ram. And on this, look at what he has done to me. So this is how, look at him, a normal man, a man with no caliber, a man with nothing, has done such a big thing. He has injured your sister and he has injured your self-respect too. So you must take revenge. You must get that woman with you. And this is how she goes and speaks to Ravan. Shurpanakha was also wanting to take revenge from Ravan. It is said that Ravan had also killed her husband long time back. So she wanted to get even with him in some way or the other. So nevertheless, this is where I'm going to basically close the channeling with this message that all the karmics and all the false twins of the world can come and try to take away your love. And in today's world, unfortunately or fortunately, why? Because it got you to do inner work and ascension work. And unfortunately, because this is happening, there are divine masculines who think that the karmics are better or the false twins are better, so they choose them and not their divine feminines. But later on, thanks to the same karmics and false twins, horrible behavior, when their real face is out in open, when the mask is removed, they realize that my divine feminine is much better than anybody else and she's the only one I want. So all these lessons are very important, but you as the divine feminine, if you are listening to this, then you must also thrive to be a woman who has a lot of confidence and faith in her love, who does not get jittered very easily, who does not get shaken very easily. Even if you need to do work on yourself, make it your first priority. Make it your healing, and your advancement is much more important than anything else in this journey. And if you are not going to be in those stable energies, you cannot be stable in front of your man. Like, even if he has tantrums, even if he's throwing tantrums, or even if he's acting out, you can't just give in to that. He wants to walk away, you should be like, all right, my love, please go. You should not have any worry inside of you, because if you are insecure within, then it will reflect outside. And he will also show you the same things that you are scared of. You know that we attract the same things that we are most scared of, right? So on that note, I'm going to close this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.